Good evening, everyone. My name is Iain Mason, and welcome to the Sensing Spirituality radio show, brought to you by A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV, where, with love, we welcome you. So, we hope you've had a good week this week, and I just would like to share a few words of wisdom, and hopefully you can carry them around with you, which is a bit like having your own mace, which is an abbreviation of my surname, in a case. There you go, mace in a case. So you can have that little reminder in your head that'll give you that trigger to go, aha, when life gets in your way, on you, or in your ear, or whatever it does, you can think of me fondly. There you go. So I would like to talk to you today about mediocrity. That's what I would like to talk about. Now, you know what? As we awaken, as we become more in tune with, there's got to be something more than this. There's something out there that I know. I've got this feeling inside of me that just needs to burst out because I'm not happy with where I am. Quite often, people around us go, you what? They think we're absolutely bonkers. And they don't understand. And they talk about all the experiences and all the things as to, don't do this, don't do that. Well, that's not right. Why would you do that? And that, of course, is based on their own limited conditioning, the conditions that they place on you, and the judgments that they judge you by. And what's really important to remember is that it's only what you feel that's real. So what you feel is real. Now, as you go along, it's important that you just allow yourself to be in that moment, to follow what you feel, because it's only when you're working in the right situation for you that you will truly align with all that's here for you. Think about that. Because otherwise, as I said last week, you're in competition, not only with yourself, but with everything around you. Now, this is what I want to say to you. Most people will want to keep you at the level that they're happy at, or what they say you should be. Don't do that. Greatness is within you. When you get that awakening, when you get that momentum inside of you, you've got to grasp it. Because until and unless you change your trajectory, nothing will change in your life for you. And to do that, you have to take massive action. And to take massive action, it means you've got to shake it up a little bit. Because you know what? When we want our prayers to be answered, we've got to step up. I've said before, when you move closer to God, God moves closer to you. But swap God for your heart, for your dreams, your desires, your goals. Swap it. Because what's really important is to have that fire burning inside of you that you're fueling. And also to understand that what you need to do is to fall in line with it and follow what you feel, because when you are in it, you will see opportunities that you couldn't have second guessed that were there for you. Nobody, all the naysayers, couldn't say to you, don't do this or don't do that, because they wouldn't see them. Now, what's really important is as you keep going with what you feel and be faithful, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, this doesn't happen easily. And we sit here on the outside going, but what if I need to move and to downsize my house or whatever? When you take the massive action, you'll be quite surprised when it's your time. And don't forget, we've all got free will in all of this as well. But you'll be surprised about the opportunities that you couldn't second guess that will find their way to you. And as you start to go with the flow, you'll see the doors open, doors after doors after doors, enabling you to evolve, to grow. And the more you flow, the less you realize you have to try. And trying is a myth for that reason. But what I will say to you is your hopes and dreams are yours if you want them. They really, really, truly are. But you've got to be prepared to take that action. Because if you don't, you'll feel that regret. You'll feel it in your heart. And you know you won't have done justice to you because you'll still have that nagging feeling. So it's really, really important that you understand with that greatness, you've got to move with it and move towards it. And so the goals come. Now, what I found from something I was watching on YouTube, it was a speech by Denzel Washington, and I always credit the people that I watch because it's important. Because if they hadn't taken that step and that massive action, I wouldn't have learned that and I wouldn't be able to share it with you. And you know what? It was so uplifting and empowering what he said. But he said something to the effect of, when you keep on going, you keep on growing. You've really, 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 truly got to go with it. And you don't know what your best day is yet. In other words, you've had what you think are your bests, but if you think about it, you didn't know those days were coming until you took the changes in your life, whether it was moving, changing jobs, buying that bigger house, changing your car. But when we're talking about your hopes and dreams, everything that you want for yourself, it is so, so important that you do this. And whatever your routine is in the morning, whether it's a meditation, a prayer, mine's a meditation and a prayer, always say thank you for what you haven't yet got. Maya Angelou always made a point of saying, however life works out, there's something better on the road for me. So what Denzel said was, say thank you in advance for what's coming your way, even though you don't know what it is. Because everything, when you move through your situation of taking massive action, you will realize what these are in every moment of success that you have. So keep on growing, keep on going. And if you feel stuck, if you feel lonely or vulnerable or very alone or whatever the combination of these things are, ask for help. Just send a prayer up. Because when you're in your groove, you'll find those things will move and they'll move towards you. So I really hope that helps you just give a little bit of a positive outlook and enable you to keep your headlights up as you go through this next week. And you're always very welcome to drop any questions through. So I'm going to go to my first caller now, who's Jerry in Lake Grove, which is in New York, in sunny USA, or at least I hope it's sunny. Good evening, Jerry, and welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Hi, how are you today? Are you well?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic, thank you. I'm still bored, but there you go. What can you do about that?
I hear you.
So how is it I can help you this evening, my darling?
I just wanted a general reading, or, I want to really know about my marriage, to be honest with you, how things are going with that, because we've had some issues, and I just want to know where I'm at.
Okay. All right. Let me just see where I'm going. Now, I just know that what I need to say about your marriage initially. So I don't have a communicator right now. I just want to make that very, very clear. Oh, hello. My darling, is your other half's mum in spirit, please?
I'm sorry?
Is your other half's mother, your mother-in-law, has she passed?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you say yes?
Yes, she did.
Yes, okay, because I feel her come quite close there, and I just needed that confirmation. It didn't feel like your mum, and it just felt like mum-in-law, and she comes close. Now, I know she's a lady that, if you would remember her, as I'm sure you do, she really liked everything to be as perfect or as well as it could be. Would you understand that with her?
Yes.
Yeah, so she would almost get a little bit, forgive me, but a little bit anxious or het up if things weren't going as she felt they should do. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. This is all with the right intent, but she really doesn't like things when they're out of place, in essence. Does that make sense?
Right. Yes.
Okay. Now, she's just talking to me here, and she's bending my ear, and she says that sometimes, and don't take any of this personally because this is just what she's telling me and I'm passing it on. She says sometimes your other half can be a little bit stubborn and
yes.
a little bit inflexible. And she's laughing at that because she says, oh dear, that's probably a little bit of me there. But he's a little bit more precise than your mother-in-law. That makes sense.
Yes,
and
definitely.
Yeah, good. And what she's saying to me is that you have very different ideas about what you want to do next. So it's almost that if you're at the connection in the road where it can either go left or right, it's almost that you've got very different ideas about your next step. Because I've got you, what she's telling me, wanting to make life easier. And the way she's putting it into my ear, she's using the word concise for me. So you want life simpler and less complicated. And she's saying to me, he's still sort of got more of the dreams and still wants to sort of keep going, and not to keep having more, but to keep. He's not done yet. He's not ready to sort of mellow. Would you understand that?
Yes, I understand that completely.
Yeah. And so therefore we've got this situation where we're sort of clashing a little bit, and that's what she's saying to me. Now, I don't want to worry you, and you mustn't take any medical advice from me, because I talk to your relatives who've passed away. They're still here, but they've passed away. But would you understand that he's been feeling just a little bit under the pressure at the moment, and a little bit anxious, or he's been suffering from a bit of anxiety?
Oh, him or me?
Him.
Yes.
Does that? Yes.
That's true. Yes.
You understand that? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't feel he's his normal self, and I feel from what your mother-in-law is telling me is that he's under what we call the cosh. It's a bit like work. He's not in its usual flow for him. It's all a bit either irregular or not flowing properly for him at the moment. Things aren't either in control or flowing smoothly. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And so she's saying, give the boy a break, because it's a bit like he's not his normal self. Now, she's saying, don't make excuses for him. And that's really good of her to say that. But she's saying, but please understand that he's just not on his usual even keel. Now, yeah, and what she's saying to me here is that she's talking about the two of you having very different ideas about moving as well. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, because this is back to this difference of opinion and which way you want to go. And she's just saying to me here that your house that you're in now is the word that she gives me. It's almost like you need to do things with it or change it to make it ideal. And it really is too much, and you don't need what you've got anymore. And it is time to do something different. That's what she tells me. And she's saying that's what you feel, but he doesn't feel that.
Okay. Yes, that's true.
Yes. Okay, that's good, because I believe her. And she's quite nice, because she's saying to me here, you probably didn't expect me to be as much on your side, because she's saying to me here she's very, very loyal. So what she says is her side of the family. So she's quite protective by nature. You understand?
Yes.
Yes. But she says, I can see things a little differently now with a better view than what I did when I was here on the earth plane. And she says, I understand what you mean, because she says to me that if you make these changes, what you've been saying to your other half is that you can, well, he can, I beg your pardon, he can make changes to his work so that he can have a better balance of life.
Correct.
Yeah, good. So she's with you, and she just says that give him like a little bit of a break, but just try and catch him when he's having those soft moments, and it will all be easier.
Okay.
Okay. So
okay,
I really hope that makes some sense for you. So I hope that makes some sense for you, and I'm going to leave your mother-in-law's love with you there. And I believe we have Janet on the show next. Good evening, Janet. Are you there?
Hi. Good. How are you?
Hi. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm so happy to be on the call.
This is fantastic. This is fantastic. So how is it I may be able to help you this evening?
Okay, so I am wondering, I have notice given to me by my landlord, a 60-day notice, and I'm wondering how that's going to unfold. She wants me to vacate. She created a whole storyline about it, and so I have until the mid-September to vacate my home unless I've brought this up to the housing department that takes care of like any claims of this manner, and so I'm wondering how things are going to unfold.
Okay. All right. Now, as I sit with this, would you? I tell you what I'm feeling about it. I'm feeling very much that I'm going to go out on the limb here. I almost feel that there's something going on with your landlord where he would be quite pleased for you to be going. I feel that there's either like an ulterior motive or there's other plans and things that he needs to do. And this almost would be quite helpful for him. Now, at the same time, that's almost a by the by. But what I feel for you is, would you understand that you've got, what I'm sensing here is either a need for a change in your life or to change what's around you with work?
Yeah, there's plenty of changes, like work changes, love changes, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, but particularly what I feel for you is what I started talking about at the beginning of the show, if you were able to hear it, was about how opportunities come along when we take massive action. And it feels to me like you've been almost upset, but in other words, you've been unsettled for quite some time. You're thinking about the changes that I need to do. Yeah. And this very much feels to me like when you don't make a move on life, life makes a move on you. And so everything about this feels that it's taking you to your next step. And almost what I can say to you is forcing you to have the courage that you need to have to make those changes. With your relationship, would you understand that you've sort of hit a bit of a crossroads with that?
Yeah, I mean, I just ended it on the 26th with him. So, that on top of everything else going on, I really don't need like a distraction. And he's not a really good distraction at the moment. He has nothing to offer really, but.
Well, whatever your reasons were, as long as they're honest and from the heart, that's the important thing that we have to do, and we do them with compassion. But what I'm seeing around you is that you were almost running a little bit out of sync together, and there was a lot of questions in your mind about whether you were having the same goals or plans or dreams or ambitions, and it just felt that it just wasn't working like it used to. Would you understand that?
Yeah, that I felt that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm more ambitious now than I have been in the year. I just came out of a depression sort of state, and I'm taking medication now for it.
Yeah, okay. Well, because what I'm feeling for you is that the changes that are afoot for you are very, very different to what you felt before. So you know that there's something inside of you that's going to kind of take you somewhere else that you just can't hold back from. Like there's something that you just have to do that you can't explain. Does that resonate?
Yes, that's correct. And because plus, I feel like there's someone else that's coming. So I'm leaving that door open for whoever comes in. That's,
okay.
A much better suited for me. So.
Sure. Sometimes people come in for a reason or a season, that's no different to everything in our lives, of course, as well. So, what I want to say to you is that's how that feels for me. Now, it feels to me like good news for you is, would you understand being close to a grandfather, please, your mum's dad?
Yeah, my mom passed away in 2012.
Yes, no, but your mum's father, your grandfather, your maternal grandfather?
Oh, yeah. My mother's father passed away when I was younger, and I named my son after him, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's around.
Yeah, okay, because he's really, really close to me right now, and he's just come in as we've been talking, and he's just saying to me that he was really, really close to you when you were small, and it just makes me feel that you were quite the apple of his eye. And he says to me here that he's close to you, so please feel his presence. That's what he does.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, we were close, but not physically. It's more like just maybe emotionally, because he lived in a different country. So.
No, that's fine. But he's there. He's there to sort of guiding you. So he's really just coming in to give you a bit of strength and upliftment. And it feels to me like you need to shed your skin. Okay, very, very much so. But it does feel for me, he's saying to me that what you felt about work was giving you that feeling like you don't want to get up in the morning. I'm not suggesting that you don't. But you know, it doesn't fill you with joy when you wake up in your eyes and think about what you're doing. You know, it's time for change. And he's just coming in to confirm that what you're thinking is right. So just a little bit of upliftment and courage for you, and just to keep on.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, that's very nice.
I'm going to leave his love with you and say thank you for calling into the show, and I wish you my very, very best.
Oh, thank you. You too. You take care. Many
You're welcome.
To you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, darling, God bless you. Goodbye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the end of the show. So don't forget, you can reach me on all social media. You can approach me for private readings. My website is www.iainmason.com, and you can find me on all the usual social media offenders. So Facebook pages, LinkedIn, Instagram, you name it, I'm there. So I'm going to leave you with my love, wish you a very, very, very happy week, and say, take my love, my well wishes, and look after yourselves, and take the best care always. See you next